Well, we're going to go ahead and get into our discussion portion, which, as I mentioned, is ponies and art. Now, what I want to do is I have all of the links here in our show notes. So if you are interested in any of the art or the artist, please, 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 please go into the link. So subscribe to the artist, watch the artist, comment on the image, tell them how much you love it, because we are trying to bring this to people's attention so they know that this art is out there. But if they know it's out there but they don't say anything to the artist, they're never going to know that their art is appreciated.
By the way,
Artist,
it sometimes shocks me that someone favors my art simply because they have better art, and I'm just like, oh, you have better
You've
art than
seen
me.
my drawings.
you tried.
You try. The fact is that you try, and sometimes even better artists do encourage the younger artists that still need work because they're learning and getting and improving. So let's go ahead and start showing off here. And we're going to start off with this selection from The Wizard of Art called Add a Little More. The image, of course, is showing Pinkie Pie and Fluttershy attempting to bake.
So Andrea Lidman basically baking with herself.
Yeah, more or less. Now, the one thing that really drew me to this particular art piece is the fact that it has a really grainy look to it. It, it,
Looks
it
to
kind of
me,
looks
it looks like
painted.
something out. Yeah, it also looks like something out of of a little storybook, where it would be a beautiful drawn picture and just some white space and some text like Tiki helped Fluttershy sprinkle sprinkles on the cupcakes. Something like that.
Yep. But of course, it has some fun parts too. If you look a little bit more into the details of the image, let me see if I can get this in a little closer here. Well, not. Hold on. It's open image in new tab. See if that helps. Yeah, there we go.
Well,
But
the first thing I'm noticing looking closer is you see how that window is placed and how the shadows are actually going like lights coming through.
yep, shadows are always a really interesting part of art because sometimes you can include them and sometimes you can't, or you don't. Even if you don't, it always makes art a little bit more interesting when you do. But the problem is that you got to be careful with shadows though, because if you get one shadow wrong, it offsets the entire picture.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But they do a really good job with the shadows. It does, it does look like the sun is shining in from the window, and you see the shadows moving accordingly. But what I
The
really,
only
sorry,
thing with the shadows that I see wrong is like Fluttershy's tail compared to her actual tail. See how it's a little bit bigger on the shadow?
Well, remember, it's kind of. Oh, never mind, because I was about to say it's kind of in pastel, so of course it's gonna be kind of like that.
yeah, the shadows are one thing, but I like the other details that they put into it, like that Pinky and Fluttershy are both a lot furrier than they would normally be. Their outlines aren't exactly straight. You can see little tufts of fur along their legs, their ears, their nose, their cheeks.
Their
Uh,
faces.
Well,
yeah,
yeah.
as someone with a horse and has seen him all wet, yeah, this is definitely something similar to what I would see realistically.
And even the manes and the tails themselves are definitely a little distorted because of the fact they have been working on baking. Obviously, they're not going to be 100% pristine and clean. Though, granted, it is kind of funny that you got Pinkie Pie basically a giant mess there, which is pretty fun. It's a warm
And fitting,
picture.
considering.
Yeah, very fitting. It's a
Well,
very
also,
warm. Yeah, sorry.
it also tells you the story of what happened here. They easily and not having to explain it.
Well, that's the whole idea of a picture to tell a story without telling the story. But yeah, the whole picture is good, and it's like what TM12 is saying in the chat. It's a very heartwarming picture. It does show a bond between the two, which I really like. Just two friends baking cupcakes. How could you go wrong there?
Yep.
Though
In
it
a
it
lot
wasn't
of
until
ways.
it wasn't until just now that I just realized that Pinkie Pie is actually holding the sprinkle shaker in her
With
hair.
her hair, yes.
Yeah, that is
Yeah,
awesome.
I was about to say, how did you not notice that? That's the first thing that jumped to me.
In all honesty, I thought Fluttershy was the one holding the sprinkle shaker.
The hose are pretty close.
Yeah.
Mm.
All it takes is a cup of flour.
Yeah, and
Well,
Sanford does like kind of like the bun in her hair, so that's kind of a funny thing. Vaguely Creepy is pretty sure that this is either watercolor or markers, and I'm pretty sure that it is too. I don't think that this is 100% digital art, or
no,
if
it
No,
says
it's
traditional
it.
art and
Yeah,
painting.
it says
mm,
traditional, so yeah, it's definitely traditional. They probably just used a really good scanner.
yeah, they definitely had to use a really good scanner, which I do appreciate a lot because it really does bring out the art that much better. Traditional art and trying to scan them into a computer is always a hard thing to do.
Also, there's a Zelda reference with the Lon Milk.
Oh god, it is a Zelda reference. Look at that.
Preach.
And it does say
Ladies and
watercolor.
gentlemen, he is not an artist. He doesn't pick up this small and minute details so
I'm
easily.
I'm not a big artist, but I can appreciate art, which is also why we're
Oh
doing
yeah, no,
this.
there's nothing. You don't need to be an artist to appreciate art. Just
Exactly.
sometimes being an artist lets you see small, little, minute details that pop out to you more than others.
Well,
Yeah,
Also, we
let's start off with this one. This one is Twilight by Mr. G Dog.
and
Good job.
technically, and second, if we want to talk about art, technically anybody can be one.
yep.
Well,
Well, as the
yeah,
rule has the saying from Ratatouille says, anybody can be it. They're just not always good at it.
true enough, and they gotta practice at it sometimes. They're not gonna be perfect.
Oh no, I can
But
just throw trash down and I can get $1 million.
mm, in any case,
What?
let's go on to this little piece of art here. Now, this one it does feel a little bit more digitally, but I do kind it. I don't know. Does anybody else kind of get the kind weird feeling of hand drawn out of it, but not quite?
It was probably either done on tablet or
Literally, probably a Cintiq or something of that nature. It's a wait.
Yeah.
It's a
yeah.
whack-em.
Yep.
Because going to the tags, which yes, I look at those. It's digital media.
hmm Well, it is marked digital media, but there isn't much in the way of details on it. So, but yes, the artist here it was they did a pretty good job of it. It's basically just a bust of Twilight here. The background is pretty good, though.
It's cut from the show,
It is pretty
obviously.
much cut from the show. Yeah. So yeah, you can definitely tell the contrast between the art and the background there. But the
Background.
art itself is still pretty good. The eyelashes are actually really well detailed. Just got like little tiny streaks right there in the littlest bits there. The mane obviously a little bit unkempt and shady. Shady maybe not the right word.
It's got some shading and the highlight detail to it.
Yeah,
I like the
uh,
shade.
yeah. For me, honestly, an easy way to do highlights and shadows would be to have a black and white layer and just change the opacity, like I did with the meltdown.
Mm.
You kind you kind of made it to super dark.
Yeah,
I was representing the game. I was not representing it as if it was real.
fair
Oh,
enough.
you mean advanced darkness?
This
Yes.
is advanced darkness.
but
Look at them flappy ears.
all right, but yeah, the flap,
You guys, you got some flappy ears.
yeah, the big flappy ears, the horn is a little on the sharp side, but I kind of like it in all honesty. That it just has
It's a style.
yeah, it has an interesting hand drawn style that I kind of like. It's not exactly perfect, but it does have a bit more of an well, for lack of a better word, edge to it that attracts your attention.
Yeah. But here's the thing. As I told my mother on the way back from feeding the horse and donkey, if everything was perfect, there would be nothing exciting.
Fair enough.
Perfection is an illusion because you're always seeking to be better.
Yeah. All right, now here we got an adult flurry heart. So
Oh,
somebody really liked the design idea of Flurry Heart, the curls, the colors, and everything, and decided what would she look like a little bit more adult. And here we have it.
I was thinking Gravity Falls Unicorn.
Yeah, I can see that.
I can kind of see that, but I don't think so. But yeah, in all honesty, though, I kind of like the design. You got the big wings, you got the big horn. She does have a little regal appearance to her, and you got um, the eyes really have a really good look to them too. So,
Yeah, looking at the corner when
Composition is always good, But one thing you always make sure is that if you have a character doing just a small posing of that nature, you do want to do good work on the eyes and/or face.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because if they're not in an action pose, obviously they're stationary and it's not as exciting. So you do have to bring in the detail a little bit more, I believe.
Now, God damn it! Now I'm starting to think. Flurry Heart saying you are not pure.
I'm pure of heart.
Okay, Sam Ford did make an interesting joke though. Oh, thank God she filled out right.
Oh, indubitably.
In all honesty, I was expecting Flurry Art to just have giant wings when she was older. You know, just like twice the size
This
of her.
giant fucking wing, just bigger than fucking her.
Yeah, just basically slaps people with them.
I want to say like something from when Discord took over Ponyville.
Fair enough. I'll go with that. Yeah. But it is a nice regal art. You got a little bit of regal jewelry on her, and it does require a bit of imagination because you got to imagine what this pony would look like when she is older. You know, things change, things stay the same. But I'd say they did a really good job overall.
Whoa, never changes. Sorry.
Whoa, never changes. All right, well, let's go into another one, and this one is a little bit more closer to what I've been dealing with this entire last week, which is awesome games done quickly. Now, really quick, right off the bat, before we show this, Awesome Games Done Quickly is a charity event that runs every 6 months. Their Awesome Games is in January. The Summer Games is 6 months later in August. Now, of course, this was a really big one for them this year because they raised over $2.2 million. That's amazing. But the big argument that they always have is, do you save or kill the animals in Super Metroid? The reason that it's a big argument is it is a completely out of the way thing while the planet is exploding. It is completely unnecessary for 100% runs, and it is superfluous. It shows a small little thing at the end if you save them. Otherwise, you wouldn't have even known that they were there.
Also, there's that whole game theory of they are the X.
Let's leave that alone. Okay, it might have not been August. It might be July. I might be wrong. But it is about every 6 months or so.
Mm-hmm.
But in any case, so the big thing is that save or kill the animals. In this round, they had voted to save the animals. So Luminara made a little fan art of the Awesome Games Done Quickly of Fluttershy thanking Samus for saving the animals, because that is what won this time around.
And there are many a man jealous of Fluttershy at this point.
I don't think she cares that much like that. Besides, let's face it, if we were hugging like that, yeah, let's leave it alone. Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be quiet. All right. Any case, so the art itself though is really good. Luminaru always has an interesting art style about him. Them. Sorry, I really don't know what gender they are, and I don't want to assume anything. But in any case, it does have a bit of a kind of a painting watercolor kind of look to it. But I do believe that this is completely digital. Yes, it is completely digital drawing, though this done in digital is actually a really mean feat. It's not easy. It's very easy to get a very clean art done digitally, but not when you have like shadings, colors, and color mergings like that, and making it look good at the same time. Though admittedly, Samus kind of has a more stretched look about her eyes. Does anybody else think that, or is that just me?
Probably because you don't look at a lot of Samus art. It just looks like art to me.
That's that bird DNA circuit.
Fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, in all honesty though, the art is good. It does have a little heartfelt feeling to it, which is really awesome. It also it also shows the fact of what they were trying to do with saving the animals, the entire planet exploding and the little spaceship the animals are on flying off in the distance over there. So yeah, they get a lot of the background elements right as well, and the art itself is pretty nice. It's not perfect by any means, but this was done really quickly, really spur of the moment, and also to celebrate a big event that a lot of people were enjoying last week.
Hmm.
So, I give it a big thumbs up there. This is a really good piece of art. Of course, Lumen Echo always has some really amazing, fun, and hilarious art at times. You'll be seeing that in a little bit later, I assure you all.
But
Hmm.
here's the thing: how is Fluttershy on Samus's ship? If from what we know, Samus's ship seats only one.
It's art, don't question it.
It's
That
magic.
ship's a lot bigger than you think, dude.
Yeah,
It's got a resting quarters in the back. There's space for a second person.
Hmm.
In fact, even though it's a different ship altogether, Infusion had enough space for a small little crew of sentient animals she found and rescued.
and not only to the
So
fact
yeah,
is you're questioning the fact that she may not even be on a ship. She might just be sitting somewhere else.
No, that's the ship.
no, that's the cockpit window. I know that's not anywhere. That's the cockpit for her ship.
No.
Yep.
Okay, then I stand horribly corrected.
But there's definitely space in that ship.
Yeah, you
Yes.
never. There's probably space. Any case, let's move on to the next little bit of art here. Now, next one, mugshot. And now this one is more along the lines of hilarity more than artistic style here. But yes, Applejack has been officially mugshotted as background pony.
And the little blurb on description: having a hat is unfair and illegal.
Uh, but yeah, I like just a joke here, just the random mugshot and Applejack questioning what in the hell is going on. No, the weird thing is the hat just feels kind of off for some reason. It feels small.
It looks
Yeah,
a
it
bit. It
does.
looks small
Yeah.
around the lip.
Of course, the one person I really want to get their opinion on is our Applejack lover here, Blanked.
Well, if the page loads, there it is.
Don't the hat look small, Blank?
The hat looks really small, like really small.
Okay,
It looks
so
like
it's not just me. Okay.
it looks like one of those cowboy clowns hats.
I give you
Maybe
that.
whoever just doesn't draw Stensons all that often, or just big old hats in general.
That might be
It's a
the
really short
case.
hat.
That might be the case, but then again, she is being arrested because of the hat. Maybe they're arresting her because it isn't a good hat.
Yeah, someone fucked up her hat. Someone probably fucked up the hat. She punched him in the face.
Yeah. Of course, the funny thing is, this also reminds me of a little scenario that happened in BronyCon that unfortunately ticked off an artist, which I do feel bad for. But I thought the joke was kind of funny too. So
Someone
Comedy.
disrespected
yeah,
Stetson.
but no, they had a mugshots of the main six. And they first somebody was making jokes about why they got arrested. Then another person decided to make a joke about who would be the prison bitch.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, the artist didn't exactly like that too much.
Yeah. Fortunately, that's one of the risks you have whenever you put characters in a position that has a stereotype.
No, it's just it's BronyCon. You're gonna get all types, and people are going to make interesting assumptions of your art that you might not like. But for the most part, people still enjoy the art, and I think they sold out of the lineup prints. I think I actually have one of the copies of that too. I actually have that lineup print.
Okay, let me correct you for the prison bitch answer. Fluttershy.
Actually, they were talking about which one of them. This one would be the who would be the who would be the dominant and who would be the submissive. So it wasn't just Fluttershy, but yes, Fluttershy was one of them. Now moving on into a little bit more feelsy art and definitely an interesting view here. We have Mark of Chaos.
Okay.
I'm guessing the start of a comic book.
Nope, this is basically it does say page 0, but let's.
Question.
And maybe come on.
Yes, Trent?
Yes, I'm waiting.
Oh, wait. What were? Oh, Mark of Chaos. All right. 40K straight out of there. Is it the mark of the gods undivided, or the mark of
No,
Corn, the mark
no,
of
it's
Slanesh?
Discord.
Oh, what about Garo, where it's Mark of the Wolves?
All right, 40K
That's
discussion in that section.
that's Space Wolves, and
No,
they don't, and they're not aligned to a Chaos God.
All right,
no.
so
I'm thinking.
I really do like how each face is actually captured in a moment of what they truly show themselves as an opposite of their elements.
Also, the answer to that, to the question I asked, is it's the mark of the mark of Chaos undivided.
And dude, Garo is a fighting game.
But essentially, yeah, this is actually the cover of a comic story that somebody is making up. It does look like it is based off the events of of the opening of season 2. Of course, we can already see the familiar events. We got the discorded friends. We got Twilight becoming discorded herself due to her own despair. Of course, we got Discord being sinister and sneering as usual, and Celestia crying is definitely a newer one, but definitely a little bit more emotionally struck.
Also,
No,
boss, Twilight's having an REM moment. Losing my religion.
Bounty Hunter's Gang. Oh, I've acquired all my allies.
Okay.
Oh
But yeah,
no.
here's the weird thing that I admit: the cloven hooves. And actually, everybody has cloven hooves. It's kind of hard to tell, but Twilight and Rarities are especially pronounced. Uh, Rainbow Dashes are covered by Twilight's tail. You can't exactly see Pinkies, so are Applejacks, and Fluttershy, you can get the hint of them. You can get a hint of them.
Oh yeah, just everybody has their own styles. They wanted to actually have little hoofs, little fucking little hooves.
So,
Yeah.
well, you also
Little
gotta,
hooves.
yeah, you also gotta think. Twilight is from the city, and Rarity is a fancy girl.
No, they all have it.
Yes, but I'm
Well, you
talking
meant like
about
by how pronounced and how long hers are.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I guess I can't argue with that really.
Also, as someone with an actual horse, yeah, they don't have cloven hooves.
Yeah. But any case, let's pour a little bit into the actual art here, and it is a really detailed and really well thought out art. You can see that the discorded characters still have their
Unicorns
colors.
are supposed to be mythical, so that's probably what they're basing it off.
Fair enough. We'll go with that.
Mm-mm-mm.
So, but yeah, the you can see all the different the main six all have their colors, though they are muted colors from what they normally are. So they aren't completely black and white; they're like faded color.
Well, yeah, when they got discorded.
Yep. Along with that, you just got a lot of details in there. You got the rustled and frazzled hair. You got the feathers from the Pegasus, all a little bit ruffled. Got little fur spots here and there on all of their bodies, which is, a really nice little detail. And just the whole scene that it paints out here with the despair above and discord sneering down below with eyes that are actually kind of glowing because of how they were colored.
Yeah. Also, I did notice the difference in like feathers on the wings. Again, since I have birds, I see one of them's flight feathers and the other, I think it's just shoulder feathers.
Okay. Only thing now I need, with all this despair, I need Monokuma in it.
Fair enough.
All right.
and now I've had an ally killed because yes.
Well, nobody besides me played Danganronpa.
Not yet. I still have yet. I want to, but I have yet to.
Yep, nope.
Welcome back, Suki.
Hey, Suki.
Yeah, sorry, that was kind of an intense part of the game, and it was like, yeah, I should probably take off the headphones for that.
Nah, fair enough.
Nah, it's all right. You're in the discussion.
You're here.
But yeah,
But, yeah.
But in any case, let's go ahead and move on here. The art itself really does speak for itself, and in all honesty, I could easily see this being a cover for a movie poster or something like that. It really is an awesome piece of art there.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Honestly, if this was not like based on MLP or a retelling of MLP, this could have been a pretty good like starting thing for a comic artist to go, hey, here's what I can do on my own type thing.
I can't argue with that. Yeah. Now here's one from Shutterfly, or no Shutterfly EQD. More tea, please.
French maid Twilight.
No, she just has the top. And Trixie and Starlight are in bed together.
Basically, yeah, Trixie and Starlight are snuggling up together, and apparently somehow convinced Twilight to be their maid.
You know what? I don't care if this is inappropriate. In this relationship, who would be top and who would be bottom?
Both. At
Who
the
really
same
knows and
time.
who really cares?
The answer is both at the same time.
They would
because
switch. They would switch.
Hey, it's Switch. That's a good one, boss.
Yeah, this is from an artist that apparently does a lot of shipping between Trixie and yeah.
Starlight.
There's a lot of shipping, but in any case, I do like the art style because it reflects a lot more into the main show. Though the one thing that really kind of throws me off is the fact that everybody has a white outline.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
Yeah, that, well, it says to be vectored, so
Well, no, it's definitely vectored, but it's a really weird way of doing the vectoring, especially when you see that when their different body parts are close together, they've got the darker colored outline and they don't have the white outline. It's only on the actual outside of their body.
Because light.
Mm,
No, no,
it
no.
seems like
No, just a solid white line around the outside frame. You could literally remove all of the color inside, and you would have this weird white silhouette.
He's not wrong. It's there.
here's the thing. I think they have a similar style to how I do like my sprites, where I just have a thing and it's on a white background, but the difference is I have a transition or a way of removing white so I can have it transparent.
Echo.
Wow, that was a hell of a weird echo there.
Like I made blank little GIF thing. I
Smile on
basically did a whole lot of okay. Hey, I gotta get this to white, then transparent, and then work from there.
Maybe. I don't know. It really is kind of offsetting, especially when everything else around them doesn't have it, and it's only the characters themselves. But it just might be the way the art style of the artist to do that.
Yeah.
Which, if it is, all power to them. I can't argue that. It is what they do. Otherwise, though, it is really clean and really well done. You got a little bit of the shadowing there, which it adds a little bit more depth than the normal art style of the show, but they still look almost exactly like they would in the show. And of course, the humor of the situation is there alone. Just the smugness of Trixie's face, a starlight glimmer, kind of just having a happy, innocent look, and Twilight looking about ready to slap him with a tea set.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Also,
God.
boss, another thing is probably a way of knowing if someone tries to steal their vectors without asking permission.
that's circuit. I'm imagining Wayne Brady Twilight.
Well, that might be the case, but I'm looking at the artist's other entries here. Some of them, it's kind of a hit and miss. Some of them do have the same weird white outline, and other ones do not. So I don't know if it's just because they rushed it a little bit, or they decided to make it their own art style there, or what exactly. So I don't think anything was stolen, though. It doesn't ring up with how this artist does their work. Either that or they're stealing a hell of a lot of stuff and they haven't been caught, which would be really weird, but I don't believe so. I don't believe that's the case.
I'm saying people steal from them, not the other way around.
Oh, I see. I see. Make it so it's a little exceptional, so if it is stolen, they can be obviously identified.
Now I want Chappelle So Wayne Brady Twilight.
Maybe later. Instead, how about this one? Contemplation. Now this one is definitely a lot more artistic, in for lack of a better word, than our previous ones.
And it's Russian.
It's completely in Russian too, so I'm working on that right now. But while we're looking at that, this is basically showing Luna standing in contemplation while we could see a sunrise. I believe it is a sunrise coming up over the all of Equestria and Canterlot there on the mountainside.
Tag say sunrise, so you're good.
Why'd you give him a shit for not saying it right?
Because
he
the
wasn't
ship
sure.
must be.
It could
closed.
have been sunset. It could have been sunset. I admit that.
Oh, it could be both. It doesn't matter. It looks pretty.
It does look
It does
pretty.
look pretty.
It looks
Bob
incredibly
Ross.
pretty. It looks incredibly
Bob Ross
pretty.
painted
It looks like a really nice paint to it.
And it says all digital, so
It was painted by Bob Ross himself.
funny.
Okay, here's my attempt at getting this translated. I apologize right off the bat. Trying to be pos office officiny, although the painter out of me like a bullet out of shit. I am
I'm
not kidding.
Japanese.
I am not kidding. That is what it's translating. Okay, that was Google Translate. Let's try Bing Translate. Okay, I have no idea what in the world this guy's trying to say, so we'll just go with that as best we can. It's a very interesting art. It kind of looks painted, just the way that the swirls are with the clouds and the atmosphere, but it's a really dark atmosphere to it, with just that little bit of light coming out from the scene, but that makes it all the better. You can just see the little outlines of the trees, the fields, the mountain, and Canterlot there, and just it just really does paint a really good picture of questioning what is happening, what is going on, what thoughts are really going through her head at this point.
Hey, Circuit.
Hmm.
Somebody was painting happy little trees.
Say what?
Someone
Someone
was painting.
happy little trees.
Yes, the happy little trees. We see the happy little trees, though, against a brooding princess.
Happy Woodle Trees. Happy Woodle Tree Adventures. So don't play that game. It'll make you banned.
We will not do that. No, we will not. No, instead we're going to go ahead and move on to the next little bit of art. And this one is a combination of both in good artistic talent and hilarity. Snowball from Otaku AP. The image says it all.
Dash Gun fucked it up.
No, you know what? Grayscale all this, and you could just have you. It was at this very moment.
Oh, no better. Have JoJo's little meme going.
Okay, hold on. Just real fast before people keep chiming in on here. Really quickly, there is a lot of jokes going on right now about emo Luna just trying to be unnecessarily broody over in the distance while her mom's calling her to go to dinner. Okay, moving right along here. Okay, what other comments you guys got?
I was gonna go with pretty much. There's one line from the internet right now that just goes through my head. You done fucked up. You have fucked up now.
That actually does fit rather well.
But yeah, this is also the perfect moment just to have a JoJo's to be continued moment.
I was actually going more for the wasted thing right afterwards, but hold on. There's a not. Oh dang it. I thought I had a good. There was another one, but my mind just blanked. Anyway, for those of you.
Vaguely Creepy has now. This is someone of your discontent.
Right there it is. Vaguely Creepy. He quoting Family Guy right there. Now the winter you just get that. Just.
Well, actually, I think that was more Dickens, but yeah, I get you.
Yeah. No, well, it's Dickens, but Stewie made it a little bit more snowbally. But in any case, just to throw out here real fast, we can kind of get an idea of what the hell just happened. looking at Rarity, you can see the remnants of a snowball against her face right there as she's getting this set up. So apparently Dash chose the wrong target.
Apparently she's trying. Apparently she almost made her drop whatever she's carrying, and that's probably what did it.
I don't know. It doesn't look like she's carrying anything.
She is holding something. In her
No.
arms.
No,
That's a scarf. That's just a scarf.
Scarf.
Yeah.
I bet she. Well, it looked like it from here.
No, she just
I'll have
looks
this- I'll have
pissed.
the picture.
She
She's
just looks
like,
pissed.
Maybe she.
I spent hours grooming.
He apologized. We can move on.
All right.
But yes, the artwork here is really well done. It's got shades all over the place. In fact, the shading is really what makes it. You just see the shadow going over Rainbow Dash's face as the doom is about to hit her, which really just adds to it. It all adds to it. The art style itself is really well done. It's kind of I want to say grainy, but that's not quite the right word. It's very mixed. It's not clean colored. The whites aren't pure white. The blues aren't pure blue. They all have different grains.
It's got a little bit of a texture to it.
It's got a
Yeah.
texture to it, yes. Yeah, it just all of that all together it makes for a really good art and a really hilarious picture right there.
Mhm.
Goddamn, Vaguely, that's reaching, dude.
Uh,
I love him. He's hilarious.
yeah, Vaguely is a good man, but yeah, wow.
He also made a cookie with your face on it. He wins.
He wins forever just from the cookie. The cookie is enough. He wins forever.
Yes.
But wait, why? Does this mean Rarity's cheating on Tom?
No.
No, she just left a snow boulder simply because she was
What
like,
are you saying?
I am
You
Why,
put- what-
Why did you say she just fucking put together a snow boulder?
She put together a snow boulder to kill Rainbow Dash. Let's face it. There's nothing ulterior. Anyway, here's a piece of artist from a slug. Or slug. And it is Brayburn and Soren riding a dinosaur.
Or as I thought at the moment I saw this, the ambiguously gay duo riding a dinosaur.
In either case, they're riding a dinosaur, which is the surprising thing.
One of the few non-gay little pictures involving those two.
Yeah, this is definitely a really oddball picture, though. It is incredibly oddball. I feel like that this would just be the cover of somebody's fanfic. Like Jurassic Pony, or I don't know. How would you describe this exactly?
No, for the Jurassic Pony, I would think Shining Armor would be like the security guard.
Well,
I
maybe.
can see it.
Maybe, but it's just a really interesting and silly picture all around it. But to bring it back down to an artistic perspective, the colors are there. They're all very muted though. They're not exactly bright and vibrant, but it makes for the whole picture there. It makes for it. It really does a good job of it, and they really. The proportions are good, the shading is good, and just the humor factor itself, it just leaves you questioning what is going on, and you can just come up with so many answers because of it. And now they're talking about Brayburn riding a dino, and apparently Brayburn being a bottom, of course. Our chat room, ladies and gentlemen. And Brayburn always being shipped with males.
You're the you're the one who brought up the top and bottom earlier.
Yeah.
It's all your fault. Right
Actually,
now.
no. He didn't bring it up. It was wait, who brought that up earlier?
It was Suki.
No, it wasn't.
You never said anything.
Nope, and I did not go into the relationship.
They were the only time tops and bottom bullshit was brought up earlier was the fucking Trixie and the fucking Glimmer
Yeah.
pics, I believe.
Yeah, that was a while ago, and that was Trixie. But yes, it's just a really silly picture, but it's really fun too, and that's kind of what I like about some of the art here in the community. It's silly. Some of it could just be really silly.
Also, we go, what the hell were we thinking?
No, what the hell were they thinking, and why can't I have it? So here we got spring.
Well, we had the winner of discontent. Now we have the beautiful spring, and oh dear God, what happened to our feathers?
What do you mean? They're just kind of falling out a little bit. It happens to birds all the time.
It's
I
called
know.
molting.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
molt.
you think the Pegasus will molt?
Yeah, I'd imagine that they had a molt at some point. But in all honesty, I like the idea of the picture here. It's just a beautiful spring morning. You have Celestia in the pink mane form that the community has pretty much given her at this point.
Yeah, the pre-royal form.
Or that, at least that's what they kind of refer to it. The only way we even have that reference altogether is just because of the storybook. Really.
Mhm.
But in all honesty, though, it is still a really good picture. It just looks like the dawn of spring. Celestia just standing out in the trees as it's happening. It's just really serene, a nice light coloring to it. Gives you a peaceful feeling to all of it. I mean, does anybody really have much to add to it?
No.
No, no, I ain't got nothing.
Eh, Well, that's all it needs, and that's all it needs. But yeah, that was from Giga and Hana's 2880. I tried really, really hard to pronounce that right, and I doubt I did. Ah, dang it! I knew I had this image out somewhere. Okay, here's another one. This one's called Dragon Allied. Of course, this has Spike and Armor along with Ember and Gummy as a
That makes
wizard.
sense. I mean, technically, Gummy is a reptile and would fall under the dragon classification.
Yeah, but he doesn't exactly speak or
Breathe
or move
fire.
all that much or do much of anything to begin with.
He's
I
like
mean, just kind of does Gummy.
He is Gummy.
Now here's the question: do we have Ember as the Dragon Lord and Spike being her knight of the castle or of the kingdom, and Gummy being the wizard, or are they just going through ogres and obleks?
You know what? I have no idea. I know it's obvious that Spike is wearing kind of like a knight's armor deal there. It kind of looks like he has his other hand on a shield too, so he's definitely fully decked out. Ember, of course, all we could see is that she has a cloak, and I thought initially it was a spear, but it looks more like the
It's a scepter.
it's the dragon stone scepter, the proof of her being the leader of all dragons now. And of course, we got Gummy. That's all,
uh-huh.
we got Gummy in a hood. That's all we really got.
And
Gummy
actually,
being
you
Gummy.
can see armor and like bands on Ember if you just look at her arm and chest.
Well, the big thing about all of this is if you look at in the background, the little shades there, you can kind of make out the fact that you got banners and weapons and other dragons and other creatures back there. So it actually looks like they're lining up to go to war.
By the way, if this is just someone's practice, damn.
Yeah, this is. They basically said that this is their practice. But essentially, their idea of this is that they're going to go aid the ponies, apparently. And apparently Gummy is a sage. So go figure. But yeah, so they drew this in appreciation of Spike Day, which is one of the big reasons. And the reason I really picked this out because they had several things for Spike Day. I picked this one out because this basically looks like it would be on the cover of of a major AAA RPG. I could see this being like a cover of a Final Fantasy or a Tales game or just something crazy.
Well, also it says it's also set in the same alternate universe as the other pictures linked down below.
Oh yeah, the only thing is that from what I could tell, we only have the alternate pictures. It doesn't look like they're part of an alternate universe and not part of a story. So there's no fanfic or anything behind it.
You never know.
Yeah, I guess so. But it's still altogether, it's really really awesome looking, and I just really love it. How much detail is in it, just all the different shading, the colors, and just the atmosphere that the picture itself brings. It's a thing of beauty, really.
Yeah, it's like something out of a screenshot of The Lord of the Rings.
Yep. You doing okay there, Silent?
Nah, I may have to turn in.
Well,
Alright.
if you do, bud, have a good sleep.
I'm see how long I can last a bit.
All right. Well,
3 minutes today, Tyler.
we'll go ahead and keep moving on then while we can. We do have here's another picture of Twilight. Yeah, I admit there's a lot of Twilight in here. This was not my intention. Um, Twi-
You lie.
I'm not kidding.
The fact you had to say something.
I
was
know,
making-
No, I just realized it. Okay, I just realized that I was
You
bringing
were
a
quite
lot.
drawn to the purple smart.
Yes.
I like the purple smart, but I was trying to get
That's it.
everybody in here.
Don't worry, Circuit. It's your show. We totally go along with it. Bullshit.
You're a racist. You're a racist son of a bitch.
Wah, wah, wah. Anyway, moving back on to the actual art. This is from Heidian Notes. Sorry, I'm hoping I pronounced that right. But the art But the art itself is pretty self-explanatory. You just got a picture of Twilight. It looks like it's marked as digital, but it looks very watercolory from the looks of it. But yeah, the picture itself is really well done. She's got a little bit of light on her face, so you can get the little shadows going on. The colors are very muted, but they're still there, so you could still kind of pick them apart. And just the eyes themselves are really well done as well. You got a nice little sparkling to the eyes. The ears are a little weird, mainly on the left side, but that just might be the shadowing there, really.
Yeah, that's something else.
Yes,
You know how
the shadows are just slightly off here.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
need to move them over just a quarter inch to that part, and then it'll just be absolutely perfect.
Well, yeah, the chat room is definitely calling it up on the eyes. There are some soul-staring eyes. Thankfully, they're staring to the right. Admittedly, though, if those eyes were staring straight at you, it would be an unnerving picture. It would go from just a soft, sweet picture to something unnerving real fast.
Like Esper from Pokemon. They always
Yes.
stare. They never blink.
Yeah. Oh, dang it, now I'm doing it.
Horrifying. It's had a horrifying.
Okay, so now we got Sun Princess by One Death Pony 1. And this is some really awesome art right here. Basically, it looks like Celestia is basically... I don't know what's up with the wings, but you got the halo thing going on, the wispy hair. Yeah, wow.
However, the Halo just reminds me of. Wait, what if she's pulling a Goku?
I hope not. But yeah, I don't know exactly what the halo's all about or why. Apparently, the wings almost look like they're twofold. Like they got a small pair of wings jutting out from the side, and then the ones going up top. It's almost like a Gundam model in a weird way.
Also, the Q marks basically just a circle and triangles.
We can give him a little bit of credit on it on the cutie mark because the main is.
I don't give a damn about the cutie mark. That main is fucking
Oh,
tastic.
the main itself.
It is.
The main is the big draw here on the picture.
The main, the hill, the whole composition is what pulls you in. It does look cool.
Yeah.
Also, does look a little Gundam-esque. The cutie mark could suck. Everything else on this picture is awesome.
Yeah, the
It's
cutie
like
mark is the
Gundam
only.
wing.
Yeah, the
It's
cutie mark.
the only weak part on this, and it's not even what you want. It's going to be drawing your eye.
Yeah, you're drawing your eye to the wings, the mane, the
The halo, the horn, the
The-
crown.
entire atmosphere all together.
Swords or crosses in the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so basically, it looks like she's come to you at the turn of the tide. But yeah, it looks like she's basically coming in to bring peace to a crazy battlefield.
Yep,
It's
and
really
CC
on
had
there.
a similar idea to mine.
Yeah,
Mhm.
could be dying or already dead. She's dead. A lot of people are saying that she might be dead, she might not be, or I don't know.
Valkyrie.
Valkyrie, there we go. She's a Valkyrie. She's not dead. She's coming down to rain hellfire on people to protect their ponies. Yeah. Okay, moving on, because we obviously drove it into the ground here. And here's one called Beep Boop Cutie Mark.
Beep boop, son. Beep boop.
Hmm.
Yep. This one, I definitely picked it because it's a very interesting art style.
This is an over-realistic Sweetie Bot.
Very over realistic, but at the same time, kind of interesting if you really look into it. But
Also, a
yes.
reason why I don't have a mouth.
Oh, come on. But any case, so yeah, you could definitely tell the small components of the Sweetie Bot here. Everything has a hinge that's supposed to, which is really surprising. I mean, the mouth has a little hinge, the ears have hinges. The horn is basically an antenna at this point. It is literally a Sweetie Bot without it being like an overly realistic Sweetie Bot, if you will.
Well, actually, this is more realistic than the other Sweetie Bots, which are sci-fi.
Well, what I meant by realistic is more that it actually looks like Sweetie Belle, but just with some weird bottish parts to her or other things like that, you know? It basically, it actually looks like a robot. Yeah, the microphone ears were really surprising to me. It makes perfect sense, though, if, you know, they're supposed to be listening.
Yep.
What the one thing that really I find hilarious is she has a gas cap on her rump.
Well, how else are you gonna fuel her?
Well, no, I know. I get that's how you're going to fuel her, but I thought that was funny. But yeah, no, that's a gas cap. That is a gas cap used in cars and other vehicles, I'm sure.
Yep.
Yeah. Plug for the battery on the tail. No, it's not a... Well, maybe a battery. I don't know. It looks more like it's a combustion engine gas cap, or maybe an oil cap. It could be an oil cap.
Yeah. Take it from a bot. You need to have either oil put in or have an oil bath ready.
Yeah. But it really is an interesting Sweetie Bot, which is why I brought it up here. It's a very interesting concept, since Sweetie Bot is usually just like you only see digital eyes on her, or she's really, really futuristic to the point of insanity. You know, something that we would not see anytime in it soon.
Then again, someone has built the upper part of an Ultron with a working arms and mouth and eyes.
Yeah, but that's Ultron.
And someone's making Sweetie Bot.
And they're still working on that. But let's go ahead and move on here into Dear Princess Celestia by Yu-Yo. But yeah, we have a relaxing twilight. This one is pretty interesting because you can see a double image of her kind of blown up and put into the background with a faded look to it. It's not bad, but at the same time, it's a little weird. It's kind of not bad, but kind of weird.
It reminds me of like when someone does a video of like, dear my old friend, and it just has an image of them writing in the background.
Fair enough. But yeah, along with their art itself is really well done. The colors are good. The portions are good. You can actually see when the mane and the tail touches the ground, it actually folds up a little bit due to the ground instead of just laying flat. And the one thing that's kind of driving me crazy, and I don't know if it's just I don't have a good eye for it, or if maybe there is something wrong, but her right wing that's behind her just seems a little too faded out. It could just be me, though.
No, I think it's layering that probably did it.
Maybe. That's just the only thing that's really jarring me somehow.
Or it's just an artistic choice. Kind of like thinking about in some art styles, you can see the majority of the body, but then you can't. Then the left side or one side is silhouetted, i.e., the arm and the leg on a normal person.
Yeah, I could see that. Okay, yeah, somebody could actually see this as a Christian propaganda film poster. Unfortunately, I can kind of see that too. Nearer to thee, by the one above. Glory to him. And yeah, okay, enough of that. Other than that, though, it is a nice little picture. Just basically Twilight enjoying a quiet time, laying down, writing a letter out to Celestia like she did in the past. But yeah, it kind of has a serene feeling to it, and that really does capture that, which I really, which is the big part of the picture. You got to capture the feeling you're trying to get behind it, and it does a really good job. So overall, good picture. I like it. Of course, I wouldn't be grabbing these if I didn't like them, or at least I didn't feel like they had some good merit to them or had some fun. Now, speaking of fun,
But
so hold on, don't kill the joke, Toa.
no, I'm saying the title.
I know, but don't kill it. You're gonna kill. You gotta wait for me to say something here first. Let's see. Now, don't you know where you want to go? Where? Ah, shit.
No, let me do it.
Go.
Putting on the Ritz, dress up holiday, ho fashion stack, go bore, go perfect fits. Putting on the Ritz.
Okay, we'll just do the Alice Cooper joke. Okay, so anyway.
Like $1 million trooper. Trying
Super
hard to-
duper! Okay, moving on. Okay, moving back on. Okay, so this is Putting on the Ritz by Edmund Dashi 1815. And, yep, it is basically Rainbow Dash dressing up Ritzy style.
Mhm.
Yep, we got the gloves, which, considering the fact that they're gloves on hooves, is kind of interesting in a way. Got the hat, you got the jacket. You got the wings doing a kind of a weird bendy thing there, but overall the coloring is good, and it is a stylized, it's a more fun image, to be straight.
Yeah, the only thing I would have a personal problem with on this is the random splashes of red that don't need to be there.
Random spot. Oh yeah, that are on her body. That is the kind of the weird thing there. I was trying to find a reason why that might be. I mean, I see in the background you got random rainbow splashes all over the place, but only red is showing up on the outer parts of her figure itself. So, yeah, it's really weird.
And the sky is blue, so it can't be the setting sun.
Well, supposedly. So, I really, yeah, the red parts are just kind of off. It's really weird. But considering that it looks like that this was
From the Rainbow Factory. Yeah,
chemical.
yeah.
Let's not call that. No. No, this is just supposed to be a fun picture of Rainbow Dash getting ready for a night on the town. We are not doing anything else on that. Ah, jeez. Immediately going to. Okay, yeah, we'll blame the Rainbow Falls. We'll blame the Rainbow Falls. She fell in the red liquid.
Mhm.
Yeah, her left leg does look a little off. Her wing looks a little off. There are some weird portion problems to it. I do like the idea of the image, but the portion parts are really, really weird, and I kind of wish Blinked was still here, but apparently he had to go run off for something or other. So goodbye to Blinked.
Yep, and Silent left us, but
He was falling asleep on top on us, so yeah, he had to go to bed, sadly. So now for something a little bit more dangerous. We have Escaping from Jail by Licorice Licks.
ain't she a daring do?
Ah. Yeah, but yes. Daring Do, Escaping from Jail as AK Yearling, no less. Obviously, you got the common trope of the bed sheet, being used to climb down.
Circuit, go to bread.
Go to bread. Okay, I will gladly go to bread.
I wanted to do an I'm at soup joke there, but it fell through.
I'm not soup. Okay, well, but yeah, we got AK Yearling climbing down. I do like the artistic style on all of this. It's a very soft coloring on everything, but it still maintains the entire atmosphere of the situation. You can see the little streaks of rain. You can see that she's basically being blown around a little bit while climbing down. You can even get little details on the bottom of the sheet being dirty, so you know the ground is obviously muddy at this point. It's definitely dark because of the street lamp.
And it's blurry in the background.
Well, yeah, you're gonna have a blurry background. I doubt it's gonna be solid, but the all-around atmosphere of it is really, really good, and it really makes for an awesome picture there.
What
The
I actually like is this artist didn't just do the standard straight up and down, type of brick setup. They actually have it being unique.
Well, it is still kind of straight up and down, but it does have an edge to a little bit of a not an edge, but a tilt. Yeah, that's the word, tilt. Any case, but yeah, it is a really awesome image altogether. So I like it. I like it. I'm just gonna say it flat out. I like it. I like it. Move it. So, Good Night by Takapony. Okay, this one is one of our first non-deviants.
And it has the bedroom eyes.
Well, the bedroom eyes were one thing, but I just like the artistic style. A little bit more chibi-ish in approach. The eyes kind of have a little bit more of a glassy look to them, but they don't look like faded out glassy. They're just kind of shiny. But yeah, the main itself has little sparkles to it. The background has a nice little starry look to it. It kind of looks like something you would see in a profile picture, to a really good profile picture, to be straight up. But yeah, you got nice little colors there. It's kind of a really serene, yeah, sassy princess is also a good way to put it too. There's really not a whole lot more details or thoughts I could put behind it, other than yeah, it's just really nice, smooth art.
Also, this would look funny jumping over the moon.
But yeah, this is from a Takapony, so definitely really awesome little bit of art from him. But yeah, that was just our only foray. Well, not only foray, but one of our few forays into Tumblr. Moving back on to DeviantArt.
Run from Tumblr.
No, I like Tumblr well enough, but there's also.
Run for your life.
Well, now it's time to celebrate Spike Day with a few pieces of Spike art that I was able to glean, and I think it would be a good one here. Starting with All Glory to the Dragon Lord. Now, this is a really interesting art style, and I always find interest in this because it has a lot more realistic and colored look to it, but it still contains a cartoony portion to it too. I mean,
also, the shipping is strong with this picture. The shipping is strong.
Oh, the shipping is strong everywhere. Anytime you show any friendship in this show, everybody gets shipped. It's amazing. I mean, seriously, you give two characters a passing glance and suddenly they're shipped 5 different ways to Sunday, including Sunday.
Circuit, you gotta remember that two graphics of the show that watch this are ship happy crazy people.
Yeah, I know. But yes, this is from Harwick's Art. And it really does, it isn't all that shippy in all honesty. It just looks like the two of them posing after winning the Grand Scepter there. And
actually, after Spike says, "Alright, Gobble, you ought to hug every dragon that you see from here until you get home." Then hands it over and is like, "You're the best option, because I can't do this."
Well, plus he's basically a baby dragon. Like anybody would take him seriously.
We still do not understand dragon age.
They literally call him a baby dragon every single... never mind. Moving on. So, yes, it is a really awesome piece of art here. You can even see the glow from the scepter reflecting off of them. It's just amazing how much detail they put into it, but they still keep it very cartoony, and it still works really well for it. The armor has a nice little shine to it. It's very well proportioned. Everybody, they're looking straight on, and I mean, how do you describe how well this is done?
Very carefully.
Very carefully. This is very carefully done, and this does show the work of somebody who's been practicing a lot, and it really does show.
And the only way to make it more realistic, and this is very nitpicky, is if they were to do scales all the way through.
No, I think there's. that may be possible, but I don't think they're going to. It's obvious that they still want to reflect the actual show style. The main reasons being that Spike's knees and elbows just have that little swirl there. They basically they hyper realistic. They made the art style a lot more realistic, but they kept true to the original core of the art style, which is what really makes this more fascinating than anything, because they didn't change it to fit how they draw or anything like that. They reflected how the art style is in the show and just made it a lot more realistic looking, which is a really hard thing to do, but really amazing too. But that's enough gushing. It's really an awesome piece of artwork, and I really do like it. This is why I chose it as one of the Spike appreciation pieces of art that we're gonna go with. So we're gonna go ahead and go with another one from Luminara, also for Spike appreciation, and this one I just thought was a little more on the hilarious side. So basically, you got Spike kissing a Rarity doll behind the closed door while Starlight Glimmer accidentally runs into him. So yeah, essentially this is just the biggest joke of all, and I just love it. How silly this is.
Well, he still has a crush on Rarity.
Well, he always will. Let's face it.
You never know. You never know.
Yep. But otherwise, though, the art is still well done. It's got the paint. It's got the painted look about it, though. It's definitely a little bit more. I don't want to say rushed, but it definitely shows that it was worked on a little bit more quickly and not as much detail put quite into it. But it still has a really good look on this.
Yeah, I think this was one of the things that they did of a weekly shot from the episode or a joke from the episode.
More than likely, that's probably the case. But yeah, since they basically had to get this done once a week while the new episodes were coming out, obviously they weren't going to be able to spend a whole ton of time on this. And LSKM apparently, yeah, some of these artists, admittedly, they do draw some other content that we probably wouldn't be talking about on the show, and that is up to them. We're only talking about the stuff that I can actually show on here without getting destroyed by YouTube.
Yeah, that's kind of the whole thing. We know, they are more talented than what we see.
Well, no, they just do more art than what we see, but that's not our position, not our problem. Instead, we're gonna show this little piece of art, which I thought was hilarious.
Or shipping.
Yeah, actually, yes, pretty much exactly that.
Like, oh boy, I'm gonna be a big dragon when I grow up.
But yeah, this is
Later.
Yeah, this is from Tamer's World, and the joke writes itself, essentially. You just see a before picture of Spike standing with Ember, and then suddenly it's like a couple of years later, Spike standing with Ember.
So Ember, you want to see how big I got?
That's terrible.
Hey, we laughed.
I know we laughed. I think the one thing that I find kind of hilarious is just a sudden change from the smaller to bigger Spike. It's almost like he literally grew up right in front of her with that expression. This expression she only has like, oh my god.
Yeah, but you can tell she's also grown up because look at the head spikes and horns.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, the hair spikes, the horns, they definitely show a little bit more age to him, but it's still funny. It's just not a little bit before and after picture, and it does have a little bit shippiness to it, but I just kind of like it. You know, a little bit of shippiness, a little bit of humor, also a different idea of older Spike, which we see a lot of older Spike. Older Spike with wings, without wings, giant spikes, no spikes. I mean,
Spike.
Godzilla spikes. I've seen some of the most amazing and weird art of Spike.
I think it's because I think it's because everybody wants to draw him when they think he'll stop being such an idiot.
That'll never happen.
he did stop being a major idiot in season 6.
And LSK, everybody is starting to make Spike got bigger jokes, and obviously they're taking it to interesting directions.
Well, here's the thing. First picture. Hey Emma, want to see how a trick I know? Sure.
Okay, move on. No, let's just
no.
anyway. Let's just go ahead and move on here. But we could keep going on this forever. And
You got a duplicate there.
duplicate. I know that's the duplicate. I thought I had that duplicate. I couldn't tell though, and it was driving me crazy. Sorry. So we're skipping the duplicate and going on to another one, which is a much older Spike and Rarity as as Generosity by Silpho. And the picture itself is awesome. I really like this picture. Essentially, you got a much older Spike with wings and everything and armor, and Rarity looking literally like basically the Diamond Princess. Lumineco. Didn't I say? Well, anyway, So yeah, the whole picture itself is kind of hilarious, especially considering Rarity's history with dragons and their hordes, and also the fact that Spike is a dragon. But yes, he's basically got Spike and his giant horde, and Rarity just sitting there enjoying the comforts of being the waifu of a plundering gold maniac or a plundering dragon. Now, there's a lot of interesting aspects to this picture, though. The snout, you get a really angry picture of Spike from this, but from the spikes as well, you could definitely get the idea that he's been through a lot of damage. Some of them have been kind of chipped and broken off, and he definitely looks a little more grizzled than he has been before. Yeah, some people talk about he's got really skinny arms, so, well, what are you going to do? It's not like it's going to be completely beef and bulky, or maybe it would be. I don't know.
He's a T-Rex with giant hands.
I got a big head and little arms.
Big arms and a little head. Okay, sorry.
I was doing a Meet the Robinsons joke.
And I don't know what in the world I'm doing.
And I was trying to figure out how to work in a dinosaur laser fight reference. But
Pew pew.
It's a dinosaur laser fight.
But yeah, it does make for an interesting idea of a future here for Rarity and Spike, and I just like the whole artistic view of it and just the different atmospheres. You got an angry protective Spike and a very calm, serene Rarity that is literally dressed up in gold and diamonds, which in all honesty she probably would do if she could.
I'm pointing to inspiration manifestation and going, she did.
Yeah, a very crazy part of her would, yes. So moving right along here, now we got Coco Pamel getting off of Spike Day, so now getting back to other pieces of art. Coco Pamel drinking coffee from Momo Mistress. This is from Momo Mistress, but yes, you got Coco Pamel drinking a cup of coffee. The image itself, just a pure bit of adorableness right there, and just you could see a lot of the shine there. You could, a lot of shine in the hair, shine in the eyes. Shading isn't the big thing here. It's just how they make little aspects of her really shiny, and it just kind of adds to a chibi cuteness of it.
Yeah, but Cece would say kawaii.
I just had a leprechaun run from me, and I don't know how to feel.
Not so lucky.
Chase the bastard.
Chase him down!
Get his pot of gold!
He dropped a locked door behind me.
What? Never mind. Moving on. Okay.
Or
apparently, Stand 4 audio cut out, and it sounded really wrong to him when it did. I'm not going to ask how or why. I'm just going to keep moving on. But yeah, DM12 agrees with Toa that she is really cute. It's a really kawaii picture, and there's really not much else to say. The coloring is good, portions are good, and yeah, it really does give you a little bit of warmness to it and kind of just cuteness to it. you can really enjoy a picture. That's a really enjoyable picture. Oh, that's cute. Moving on. So, something a little bit more interesting on the art side. This is Following the Butterflies by Loveless Knights. Let's try actually expanding the image. But yes, this was from Loveless Knights, so inspiration was from J.J. Peabody. But the image itself, it looks really painted. It actually looks like this was done with actual paints. And
Yeah, it says digital. Also, it only took him 2 hours.
Dang, I wish I could do that in 2 hours. But yeah, the image itself, it's really well done. You can definitely make out Fluttershy, the butterflies, the entire forest. It's got kind of a blurred look to it, but that's kind of the look you would normally get with a picture that's actually painted, and it kind of adds to it more than subtracts, really. Apparently, unfortunately, Tech Stallion's player is having a lot of issues, and that is a shame right there. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of cute pics here, and we're trying to get through as much as we can here. This has gone longer than I expected, but at the same time, it's probably for the better, to be honest. But yeah, the picture is really well done. Just a little blurs here. How do you describe art?
You don't describe it, you feel it.
Yes, I suppose so. But yeah, you got the sun rays coming out from the back. You can see the shadows of Fluttershy as well as the butterflies, which really add to the contrast. And just the simple ways, you got little paint strokes that make the flowers and make everything around it. This is the kind of stuff you would see from Bob Ross. I'm just gonna say it right there. These are the happy little trees right here. It's really
again, guys, this is still learning because this is really only like the second stream to be done on Pixel.
We're still learning. We're still working on it, and hopefully a couple of reloads might work. I really don't know. All I can do is suggest to reload and hope. Or I don't know. Maybe I should cut and restart the stream real fast. Well, we only got a couple of people that are apparently having issues. So if we get a couple more people complaining, we'll cut and restart the stream itself. The recording could still keep going in the meantime, at least. But yes,
those in YouTube land, you don't have to restart anything. This is live. A problem.
No. They know that. They know that. But in any case, here's an interesting little picture here, and it actually does give a more of a scene here and a different idea of things. Gilded Cage by Plain Oasis. Of course, we see
in a gilded cage of our own making.
Well,
decisions or regrets.
Fair enough, but in this case, we're talking about Celestia and her supposed gilded cage. Looks like she's being surrounded by decadence and a bathrobe, and her hair just kind of drooping down as she looks at herself in the window, and obviously, feels trapped. Of course, I'm not sure she actually would feel this way, but this is an interesting idea that this person has in regards to royalty and responsibility.
Well, think about it. She probably felt like this whenever she sentenced Luna to be on the moon.
Well, maybe that, or I don't know, maybe just the fact that she's responsible for so many and not just herself, that sometimes you can feel trapped because you can't just make decisions for yourself. You really have to think about everybody, and when you think about everybody, sometimes you can't include yourself in the equation there. Overall, though, the art is really well done. It looks, awesome. Brony is pretty correct there. It kind of looks a little bit more like watercolor art. The reflection does kind of have a little bit of offness to it because it kind of looks like her hair should be completely blocking her face, but you can see the side of it there.
It is digital art, but it's under painting and airbrushing, so take that as you will.
Yeah. Yeah, CMC. Well, yeah, you know, yeah, I kind of get what CMC is saying with the main isn't pulled back enough to reflect the same way that the mirror is. So obviously there is a problem there, especially with the way the body is positioned. It's not like she's turned towards the mirror; she's glancing at the mirror while kind of standing to the left of it. So yeah, it is a pretty inspiring picture, but the reflection does leave something to be desired. It's not exactly perfect there, which is why reflections are a little hard to do sometimes because you got to really pay attention to how the character's positioned to the mirror. But otherwise, the art style itself is pretty well done. You can tell where everything is, but it's kind of has its own little texture to it as airbrushing. Apparently, they had it as a kind of a painting airbrushing kind of look, but it's still digital, of course. But it's a good piece of art. It's not great though, and it does have some issues to it, unfortunately.
Hey, anything that's perfect isn't worth your time.
Okay, now this one is interesting because it is not only a piece of art, it's also an animated GIF.
Yeah. Basically, this artist has been doing a lot of these, like in the little corner thing if you go to their page. And honestly, this is what digital media has been able to get us to actually have movement in like a little space of a painting.
Actually, they've been able to do this for a while now, but this artist actually does kind of work with it at the same time to allow. They do a little bit more to it, so it's actually workable as opposed to what they used to do, which is they kind of bubbled parts of the image so it looked like it was moving, but it really wasn't.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Because I think since like 2010, we had some of this technology to do it on like web page, but it just took a while for stuff to get to the point where hey, we can actually do this on our own end.
Anyway, getting back to the actual art itself and not the technology. The art itself is really well done. You can see just magic swirling about her as she's charging her horn, and even in her eyes, you can kind of see the little reflections of the magic as it's swirling around. The hair is really well done. It's still stylized, but you can identify some of the individual strands and how it's positioned. And the body does have a furry texture to it, but you don't got tufts of fur all over the place, but you can tell the texture of the fur on there.
The neck might be a little bit out of proportion with everything.
I don't know. I think it looks all right for concerning that she's probably standing to her side and kind of turning over to the right to look at you. I can kind of see why it would look like that. It's not directly on. It's a side view. At least that's my impression of it. But yeah, the little magical effects that they have all around it really work well for it too, and they just make sure that every little bit is incorporated into the art, so it really does paint an incredible picture. Which kind of also
So,
makes me
which
want to
is
see if I can get a commission off of this person for my OC. That'd be awesome.
so everything she does is magic.
Okay, that's it. Just for that, you're getting Goku Pony.
Ah! And Sean Channel fainted.
Actually, this is for an OC called Polystar, but it's Goku. Let's face it, this is Goku.
This is Super Saiyan 3 Goku.
Yep.
Yep.
That's why I said and Sean Channel fainted.
Anyway, moving right along there, but yeah, it's Goku. So let's move on to another little bit of awesome art here. Lunar Isolation. This is also an animated piece of art here, though it's a different art style.
Yeah, this is the bubble art a bit.
It's a little bit more bubble-ish and smearish, but it still works really well, especially with the ear flicks. This one from Shadow Scale.
Yeah, I see what they did here. They did the bubble thing with the hair to get its flowing texture, while they actually did the normal animation for the ears and eyes.
Yeah, maybe. It looks more like a wave instead of a bubble, but just the whole fact that the whole main is doing it is really a good job without kind of getting the head incorporated into all of that.
Yep.
So they still got just the main being incorporated. The art style itself is really well done as well. It's kind of reminds me of a lot of comic artists and web comic artists. Just kind of like a little bit detailed, but still very cartoon. Well, still kind of cartoonish, but like realistic cartoony. You know, I can see it's really it's a style all its own. I just can't put it into words, and it's driving me crazy. But yeah, the image itself does paint for a really interesting one. Yeah, it looks like I'm guessing she's probably at the castle of the two sisters, and just kind of sitting there in isolation, probably debating everything that has been done with that.
That, or it could be another alternate universe where she lost members of her kingdom. You just don't know.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, it could be a multitude of things, but personally, I just like the whole idea of the image altogether and just how it looks, the animation in it. The animation does add a little bit to it, but it doesn't take away from the actual artistry of it. It's kind of like a nice little mixture of good art and animation. It's really nicely done. So, moving right along here. Now, here's another one from Luna, and this one, of course, is taking a little bit more into the young Luna approach, or the pre-star main. The Luna, yeah. But yeah, apparently this was supposed to be an attempt at chibiing, but it didn't quite work out for the artist. But it still looks like a little young Luna, so it's okay to go with it.
And she has a cookie.
Yep. So basically, it's just Luna right there in all her glory eating a cookie. The colors are there and they are nice. The eyes are there and they're nice and shiny. The mane is good. The coloring is good. This is just a really good picture altogether, which, you know, not every single piece of art needs to be this incredible, detailed, amazing thing that blows your mind. You know, something simple and sweet is always nice as well. And this one is done from Higglytown Hero. Higglytown Hero. Blah. Yeah. A little bit of Uno right there for fun. Any case, we're going to go ahead move on to the next little bit of art. We're going to have to speed up here just a little bit more because we are really running out of time real fast.
Yep.
Okay. So, Derby Dancing with the Blossoms.
Looks cool. They are very cool sakura trees.
Actually, it's Cherry Blossom, but nice try.
Sakura trees are
I know. I just I just had to get your goat once. But yeah, Derby Dancing around Sakura or Cherry Blossoms, whichever you want to prefer it as. It's got the style, the main. It's definitely a fun little picture. The colors are really good, and they actually opted for the interesting hairstyle where it doesn't block out the eyes. You can still see the actual artwork around the eyes as opposed to just the main blocking it out altogether. Which, you know, some people like it, some people don't. I think it's an okay approach. You know, if it adds to the image, it doesn't distract from anything, then go for it. And moving right along, and this one's interesting. I'm not sure what I was thinking. I thought this was something else initially and it didn't quite work out that way, but it's really an interesting bit of art. So essentially we got we got Lyra and she's with two robot ponies and
Yep,
eating
and
cake.
what's that cake? Mm-hmm.
She's eating really delicious cake. Either that or she's really hungry. I don't know which.
Both.
No, yeah, the things that I can see right off the bat here, the main style is definitely interesting. It's a little bit more raggled, and you can see it on both sides of her head as opposed to just one side, which is usually pretty common for Lyra. The robot ponies definitely have the more futuristic cyborg look, where they basically, you can only tell they're robots just because of the fact they got lines around them and they're shiny as all hell. But I will give them the credit. They got the little sun shining in. It's causing Lyra to glow, but not shine like the robots are. So Nice little approach on detail there. And it just paints for a nice little scene there. Kind of, just seeing Lyra enjoying a moment of cake. And, well, it looks like pie, but they say it's cake. By the way, this is by El Mutanto.
El Mutato.
El Mutanto. Yeah, but Lyra is eager to eat that pie or cake, or we'll call it the confectionery. She's ready to eat the confection.
Next on to Bug Horse.
Yes. But it's definitely an awesome little bit of art there, and it really kind of paints your own story at the same time about why she's there and about the cake as well. Which is always a good idea for art. Now this one, I brought it up because it has an interesting art style, but it's also interesting in itself. Fleeting Fire.
Also to remind you of the Guardians of Harmony, Chrysalis, and Changelings.
Yeah, but this one's from Chirpy Chi, and it's an interesting approach to art style. I'll just say that right off the bat. I say interesting because, in all honesty, this is jarring as hell to me. This is real. Well, I don't know. There's something about the way the mane is, the giant ears all looped around. The body is angled in a weird way, but that's just my perception. It's kind of jarring and weird to me, but it doesn't mean that it isn't an interesting piece of art that should be examined. But yep, it's an interesting approach to Chrissy, as you can see. It kind of has you questioning what in the world is going on, really. Now they did a different approach with the eyes on this one. That I think the eyes are really what's doing it in for me. Is you could see the actual inner part of the eye through the hair, but not the rest of the eye itself. It's kind of like cut off in a weird way. I don't know how else to describe it, really. But yeah, it's an interesting little image. It has its good points. The coloring is really interesting, and the design is a very unique design. But there's something about it that also is just kind of weird to me. I don't know quite else how to put it into words. Yeah, alternate universe Chrissy, yeah. Okay, now here's one that is just for giggles. It's for giggles, but art doesn't always, like I said, art doesn't always have to be serious. It could be for the giggles. Here we have Flash and Twilight. Fill in the blank.
Aw, the cute little kids.
No, this is actually them being a normal size. This artist just draws everything in kind of a chibi-ish form.
Beautiful me.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, just the image itself is kind of funny. Just the way Twilight is looking, the way Flash is reacting, you can come up with a multitude of things. So I'm pretty sure our chat room's already having a field day with it. But along with it, though, the art style is real interesting. Everything is kind of shiny, really, kind of glowy, shiny, like they're out in the sun. And actually, the original image does have them out in the sun, so it does completely explain itself. It's not a design choice; it's actually part of the atmosphere around them. But along with that, they're really not bouncy, but round. Yes, round is definitely the word I would go with. And did somebody start snoring?
I was about to get out of there. Damn it. Okay. I'm just barely getting to that point, dude.
Oh.
Then again, it's 11:30.
Yeah, true. But yeah, it's a fun little image. It's round. It's silly. Obviously, Flash is definitely embarrassed and almost slightly perplexed about what in the world Twilight was starting to throw at him. So yeah, I thought that was funny. So there we go.
It's called Duty is one thing, and yet she's hot as hell.
Yeah, and hinting. She's hot and hinting. And now here's Mud Pie on ice skates.
Yay!
Yep. The image
You wouldn't be that that excited if we did it.
Actually, I just find it hilarious that she's doing this crazy pose and she's still completely stoic throughout the whole thing. But yeah, you got Mod Pie basically doing a very, I don't want to say triple axel because I have no clue what in the world she's skiing at this point. But the image here is really well done. You have the mane flowing around her as she is skiing. Obviously, the person put all four skis on her, and you just got the little shine of probably stage lights that are on her.
By the way, skate.
Ice skates. Ah, dang it. I knew I was saying something wrong. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. Alright, well, okay, let's move right along here. Okay, I'm probably just going to end up grabbing a few more images here. Unfortunately, we have quite a lot more that I could have gotten to, and I'm not going to have a chance to. And really, it is a shame, because there's a lot of great images here. But at the same time, it does show that I'm probably going to have to be a lot more cherry picky about these. Either that or I just picked a really bad week to start this. Because there was a lot of them. A lot of great images, and I have not even scratched the surface. That's how crazy this is.
So, Circuit, you picked the wrong week to start reviewing art?
Either that or I picked the perfect week, because there's so much of it that there's no way I would have ran out of material. But yes, Pinkie Pie in her rainbow form. I kind of liked it. You know, it's just a nice little round, bubbly image. Oh, by the way, this is from Mauve de Pie. But yes, Pinkie Pie in her rainbow form, bouncing all around as she normally does. The colors in the mane, the balloons all over her. I still kind of find it funny that they basically only use this form for beating out a big boss and then one dream sequence, and that was it.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, they kind of went, alright, that was too overpowered, and we might get drunk on power.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't.
They just sort of used it, beat them up, and they were like, "Yay!" And then there was the dream sequence. That was it.
Yeah, they never questioned about it being too much power or anything. It's just been kind of like holding in reserve. At least the elements of harmony, they were willing to throw those out when they needed them.
True, but then again, we aren't privy to what may happen in the movie.
Yeah, I know the movie might have it, and so it's maybe season 7. I'm just talking in general because it is kind of a weird thing to. They basically have Super Saiyan powers all of a sudden, but they don't use them. Go figure. But anyway, the really interesting about this image is not only does it reflect the whole rainbow Pinkie Pie part, it does have a ribbon in the hair, which is kind of interesting, but it does add to the image, which I like.
Yep.
Alright, now going on to another one here. This is Cherry Jubilee also by Mauve de Pony. So we're just going to reflect on this real fast. Same curvy form that they had for Pinkie Pie. What I found interesting was the mane that they put into this one. There's actually a lot of weird swirls and details to it that kind of match the background, but they don't match. Wait, do they match the background? No, they don't. They don't match. They don't match it, but it definitely adds an interesting type of texture to the mane and tail, which I kind of like. It's a little different. And we're gonna stop on this last image here and then go do a little bit of video playing here, mostly so I can get my throat a chance to heal before we close out for the night. But Luna watercolor. And this was actually done traditional watercolor. So this was made and then either scanned in or taken a picture of. So this is completely done by watercolor by Lolly Pony Brony. And this was a 2-hour work on watercolor, and it is really nicely done. I'll be honest, I don't see a whole lot in the way of watercolors, and most of my experience with watercolor was paint by numbers watercolor books that you got when you were 8 years old. And they didn't work all that well, and we all know this.
Well, it didn't work all that well because we were kids and we were impatient.
Well, no, it kind of sucked too. You know, they only had like 4 colors, and they were either on the page or on that little plastic thing that you try to put in a little bit of water and it never really worked because it was hard as rock. Or, I don't know.
Boss, that's why you get a small glass of water.
I was 8 years old. I didn't care. Anyway, I'm moving on. But yeah, it's I was 8 years old. I wasn't exactly thinking about how to make art. I was trying to just make art.
Huh. So I was the only one with my twin sister to actually try and do that.
Well, you may have tried it with that. I just tried putting water in the little things and then using them, and then I gave up and started playing Nintendo.
I had that as well.
Best choice I ever made. But in any case, watercoloring is really, really good. I really like it. They did put a lot of detail into it. You can see the little swirls and everything is proportioned really well. And even got little sparks of magic that they managed to pull off with the watercoloring around the horn. So there's definitely a lot of detailed work behind this watercoloring, and it is very nicely done. But it's really sweet stuff, and I like every bit of it. So that is going to be it for our art discussion there, or what we were able to get to. I'm sorry that we couldn't get to all of our art, but if you really want to check out everything else that we were going to take a look at, please check our show notes. I promise you, we did not get to, I think we got to about half of it, to be honest. Maybe a little bit more than half.